Welcome back to Foothills Firewood, guys. My name's Britt, and today we're going wood hounding. Let's get it. All right, gang, today we are headed on up the road to my brother's house, actually, to do a little bit of wood hounding here. He actually built his home, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. And when he was doing this, he took down a bunch of trees in the process. His grader came in, took down a bunch of trees, and he left them kind of log piled on the ground, so it's not ideal, with the intent to have his buddy come and mill them before they went bad. Well, needless to say, he is busier than he has time to mess with these things. So we are going to go over there and see if there's anything we can salvage. I actually cut a big pile of firewood and put it up on skids, so I know it should be okay, or a lot of it should be okay. But these logs that we're going to be cutting on are pretty big. They have sat out there for 2 years now. You know, the bark's falling off of them. They get tons of sun. Here in North Carolina, you're getting 100-degree summers. So I am hoping that, you know, I won't call them dry. I think we'll pop them open and still see 30% moisture. But I am hoping that I'll bust these things open, and within a month or two, the remaining moisture in the center of that will dry right up. I do think this will be very easy to sell late summer. So we'll get over there, we'll check it out. I'll see what we can't film. All right, guys, this is the pile, and these logs are massive. I'll bet you that one's 16 foot long, probably 34 inches. I don't think we're gonna be able to move it, but we're just gonna try to back drag it off this snake's pile here. As you can see, it's got some fungus on it, a little bit of sapwood out, but this is oak, so this is gonna be good. A lot of good wood in the center there. I'll try to put this one in the log weight calculator and see how much it would have cost. He's just trying to push it off the pile here, get it out of the snake's nest, I reckon. Yeah, there we go. This log was way too big to try to even push, so we had to start taking off sections of it. Look at this wood, guys. Absolutely perfect. A little bit of rot at the bottom, and of course, like that outer 1.5 to 2 inches. But man, there's some good heartwood in here. There you go, come on forward. I don't mind taking another section off. If I do it though, it just takes it too far away. You know what I mean? Like you'll never be able to tap it over here again because this log starts. Let me cut one more section off. here's what we're left with. Not much we can do in regards to pushing or pulling this thing out if the grapple won't grab it and move it, which I doubt it will. We might have to try to get a chain underneath it, yank it out. And honestly, I wouldn't even pull it all the way this way, because then it could just roll just a little bit. I mean, maybe another 2 feet. That's good. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, guys, that one log is gonna go. Actually, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 32-inch pieces and 1/16. So you guys can do the math there. Maybe I will now because I'm curious. And then I've got another piece right here that's kind of a flare. I'll probably just burn that. This piece back here, believe it or not, is shorter, but it's even bigger, like by a ton. This piece of white oak right here. And then the pile just goes on. And then there's the firewood pile over there. All right, guys, here's what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that I need to cut in half. But as you can see, the first 2 inches or so is just complete fungus and mud. So it took basically 1 to 2 cuts before my chain was absolutely cooked. Look at this stuff. It's just dirt. And the sad part about that is it's gonna be cooking chains until I'm done cutting. This is the only time that I will run a dull chain, because it's very tough on the power head when I know I'm just gonna put another one on there and saw straight through more of this, you know, mulch and mud just to dole out another chain. I'll try to keep working the dull chain. And you know, a couple things to note when you're doing that, if you have to do that. If you could pressure wash this or something, you'd be in business. But a couple things to note is if you've got access to a skip tooth chain, definitely use that. You want as little drag on your power head as possible, because you can see how long it takes me to make a single cut through this, and that's just hard on the saw for sure. Anything you can do to give it a hand, you should, and that's going to be the skip tooth chain here. Let's see if we can't get a straight cut through here. It's probably going to take me a bit. Bear with me. That's done. Let's get it loaded up. All right, y'all, what we have here is a very full load of oak. Well, what we actually have here is probably a DOT violation, but we'll get it home. If it fits, it ships. You know how it is. These pieces are huge. I'd say probably 30, maybe 32 inches on that one, maybe 34. Some of these are probably 28 to 32. That tall one right there, maybe 36. Well over a cord of good wood in here. Actually might do some calculations on the screen here. We'll see. If you guys see some numbers pop up, it's because I had some spare time, or I'm just a nerd like that. But we got a little load in the back here. Some better sized firewood there. Like I said, guys, a lot of punk to be cut off of this. It's as simple as these are small enough for me just not to even noodle. I will pop these up on the Wolferidge, and I will put the single knife on, and I'll just cut the edges off and make beautiful bundle grade wood out of this stuff. There is a lot of good wood in here. We're gonna fight for it today. These two did not fit on the trailer, and I did not want to get them in the back of the truck because then they won't roll off as easy. So we're gonna leave these for another day. There's a ton more wood down there. I know that pile doesn't look big, but you guys saw this piece of wood that came out of it. So probably 12 more sticks of that and then a bunch over there. All right, guys, we have got the logs all back to the house here, and this is generally my process. If I end up having a wood hound, get wood, whatever, bring it back, especially with the larger rounds. The bigger rounds, I definitely want to roll off and get out of the way. I'm hoping that I've got a chock behind that last row of rounds so they're not pinching my gate right there. But of course, they all rolled back as soon as I pulled down this hill here. So I'm gonna try to get this gate down. We're gonna try to get these off. So of course my yard is pretty swampy here. Let's see if we can get this gate down. That was easy enough. Let's try the other side. It looks like it rolled back to the gate, but not on the gate because I put little chocks back there. The fun part will be getting the chocks out. They're just rocks and like pieces of brick. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that came out. All right, gentlemen, form an assembly line to the splitter. You're next. The edges are always tough because my lock bar pulls out over here. But as long as I can can't win them all. As long as you keep them upright, They're heavy, but they roll easy. Just using proper body mechanics. I'm not using my back for this. Pushing it with my knee, pulling it with my hand. Line it up, roll it on. Probably goes without saying that every row gets a little more dangerous. But it's only dangerous to your trailer or to you if you don't move. But anybody that thinks that they can get in the way of one of those rolling probably needs a reality check. Got half the mind to put these up on a scale just to see what they weigh here. All right. So, first problem is always the next log behind it. You don't want more than one to roll out at a time. So let's see if that'll stop it. Try to change the trajectory here just a skosh and get out of the way. I like to take a break in between each one and let them settle. You get up there messing around and they want to shift. And this doesn't look like a huge hill, but it is one. All right. Back row seems to be pretty well chalked. Let's get it up. Yep, that'll break a foot. But this whole trailer will be unloaded in 5 or 10 minutes. So I can't complain. Especially since it got loaded with a tractor. This one, not gonna be fun because it's already wanting to go crooked and I'm gotta be up here with it. Exit strategy is your friend. All right, we're in a better spot now. Basically, any step of the way, be ready to jump off the side. Don't be a hero. Two more. In a perfect world, I would send that one over there, this one over here, and still be able to close the gate up. But we all know I don't live in a perfect world, so let's see what we can't do. All right. I like the trajectory we're on. Brick is out of the way. That's where we wanted it. Now over here, we're gonna cross and head that way. That's a good one. Brick is out of the way. Let's get back here and take a look. This one may or may not make it past that. Oh, this one's got a flat spot, huh? Yeah. Well, can't win them all, but they're safely off. I'll pull this one over a bit. All right. There it is. Unloaded. All All right, let's make ourselves a tote. I would say 95% of all totes that I make come to this very first bar on either side, and then they go down to the third bar. I take that section out. Every once in a while, I take them all the way down. Every once in a while, I take just a couple out of the center. It depends on my plans for them, but the majority of them are like this. That's a wrap. This video brought to you by Harbor Freight Power Tools. All right. That thing's ready to load. Let's get this thing cranked up. All right, y'all, I just got this entire tote of red oak split up only to find out that the camera had died. I've been over here splitting for the last 40 minutes, moving the tripod around, getting good angles, thinking I'm just crushing the footage, only to find out that it stopped recording. It's so bright out here that I can't see the screen. I can't see any red light indicators or anything like that. So I guess that's the good Lord's way of telling me that this video was done whenever the camera died. So I really appreciate you guys spending some of your time with me today. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the subscribes and shares. And until next time, we're out here having fun. Thanks for watching.